What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Book is entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father at Amazon, Kindle, and Create Space. A link will be in the description box below as usual. This video is entitled Entitlement Affects Intelligence. So basically when people are spoiled, they become stupid. And I've seen this happen, I don't know, for a while, but I didn't know how to really put it together. And I'm just going to throw out what I mean by this. Like, people who I know who are spoiled, they'll have their conversations aren't smart to me. And what I mean by that is a person who is spoiled, aka entitled, they can literally have a conversation with you and have worked out the conversation in their mind before they even talk to you. And they're telling you what you're saying and you're thinking and, what you're feeling. And you don't even, and they brought the conversation to you. And you're like, what are you talking about? Like, and so their situation is different to the point where when you start saying what you're thinking and what you're feeling and your point of view, it throws them for a loop. Like, they get confused. And a lot of times it's just a self-absorbed point of view. Like, I didn't think you would think like that. I didn't think you would feel that. I didn't think you would, that's how it went on. Well, that's for me to say what's going on with me, what I'm thinking, what I'm seeing, what I'm feeling, and how I perceive it, right? But because, you deal with entitled people, for some odd reason, the switch doesn't click in their head that everything ain't about them. I've had the conversations with people where, how can I say this? Where they're trying to tell you, they're trying to lead a conversation with you about something that you have to inform them about. If you get what I'm saying? Like, if somebody's asking you for information, they're telling you the information that they're asking you for because they feel like it should be the way they think it should be. And it's like, that's not how shit works, though. That's you call me to know how this works. I'm telling you how it works, and you telling me how you think it should work. That's crazy, and because once again, it's from a self-absorbed point of view. And I never, I couldn't. I always, for me, when I get in those conversations, I always thought it was stupid because, a normal person would say, look, people aren't thinking what you're thinking and telling you what you're thinking or agreeing with what you're thinking because that's in your head. That's why you talk to other people. You don't just assume everybody is thinking what you're thinking or perceiving things the way you're perceiving or feeling the way you're feeling because you feel like they should. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it was like, because it was a selfish and self-absorbed point of view, because it usually came from being spoiled as a kid and being entitled and thinking that, you're going to get your way with everybody and everything, and everybody should be on your page. And unfortunately, those type of people don't interact and communicate very well because they're not really accustomed to communicating like back and forth. They're accustomed to just thinking what they say goes, and for some odd reason. I mean, the same thing applies when it comes to people's triggers and trigger words. Been in those situations numerous times where you can just talk. And let me get this part out. Some people are abrasive, so what they say is offensive. That's true. But some people who are usually spoiled or entitled are so triggered by everything, they want you to, memorize all their trigger words and trigger phrases and trigger feelings, and you're supposed to tiptoe around their triggers as if you know what they are. And if you would, it's like a stupid power trip. Like, if you're having a conversation, you're having a conversation. That's it. That's all it is, right? And just because, oh, I didn't like that word. Oh, this means this. Oh, I take this as this. Oh, nobody cares how you take it because the definition has it, the dictionary has a definition of it. The dictionary has a proper definition of it. Just because you wanted to make up your own definition to make you feel a certain way doesn't mean your point is valid. It's stupid. That's why I say, entitlement affects intelligence, spoiled and stupid. And that's just on a talking aspect. As far as like, there's a manipulative aspect of it where, entitled people are stupid because they're accustomed to manipulating people to do something for them. And they have that ideology that, when it's smart if I can get you to do what I'm supposed to be doing for myself for me. I'm playing you, I'm getting over. I'm smart because I can make you do my work for me. Without even thinking that if all you know how to do is manipulate, after a certain period of time, people know you're manipulative. And what they're doing is they just getting stuff done because ultimately you're inadequate and incompetent of doing necessary things for yourself. And at some point, people are going to stop helping you because you're going to reach not only a point of adulthood, but a point of no return as far as burning bridges, and a point of a straight up, people just tired of you not knowing. Because, I've been around those people who, oh, I don't know how to do this. Oh, I don't know how to do that. Could you do this? Could you do that? Could you do this? You get to a certain age, it sounds like you're a child. And you're so entitled and spoiled, now you can't do regular stuff. You got adults who are grown calling their parents for solutions to things that, as an adult, you should already know how to do. Or you should have the pride to figure it out for yourself and not ask somebody to help you do something that you should already know how to do. And because of that, they don't have a skill set. They get older and more manipulative, but less skillful. So they really, in some ways, age themselves out of life. Because people don't have time to do that. Another reason I say entitlement affects intelligence is usually when you spoiled or entitled, you have a hard time dealing with adversity. And a lot of people deal with adversity in a way that's probably not proper. People have habits, vices. And instead of dealing with the adversity, they plunge into their vices and then make decisions while they're involved in their vices against the adversity that they're facing. It's kind of like an alcoholic. They're not doing what they're supposed to do or what they're afraid of or what's the pressing issue in their life, so they get drunk, and then that drink gives them the liquid courage to actually do what they're supposed to do. But the problem is they're doing it drunk. So really they're just making the situation worse instead of making it better, And when you come across people who do stuff like that, you look at them as they're dumb, because it's like, why would you even get yourself in a position where you would actually try to fix your problems impaired? You trying to fix your problems. You trying to go through your adversity drunk, or high, or in a self-sabotaging manner. Like, you're gonna destroy everything and force other people to help you. And it's like, people like, nah, no thanks. And I think it's a problem, because when you spoil like that, it's this era of people are supposed to help me and supposed to do things for me. and supposed to be at my beck and call, and supposed to gravitate around my world and be my tools, and are supposed to be, my butler in life. And without realizing, everybody else around you has a life, and they have to handle things on their own, and they have to communicate with other people, and they have to problem solve, and they have to face adversity. And because they have done and continue to do those things, they're way smarter than you, because they don't have time to manipulate people. They can get stuff done. And when you're at that space where you can get stuff done, you have a lot more time, a lot more peaceful time in your life, a lot more peace in your life. So, for me, entitlement affects intelligence because spoiled people are stupid. So we got to get out of here, man.